Hello everybody, welcome to a Fuzzy Owl ASMR video, and in this case we're going to be reviewing the SH Monsterarts Godzilla vs. Kong figure, and I don't think SH Monsterarts has done a Kong before, and if they did, I haven't seen it. If you are coming from my other channel, my main channel, you know that I'm a big fan of figures like this, specifically SH Monsterarts. There's some good NECA ones as well, but I like to review these figures. So what I'm going to be doing here is going over the box and the figure. Spoiler alert, I took the figure out. I couldn't wait when he came. But yeah, back in January, I believe, they announced this figure, and I've been waiting for him ever since. I pre-ordered him. So yeah, let's just kind of go over the box here. This is from Bandai Tamashi Nations SH Monsterarts. You got the Monsterverse logo here. Really cool promotional figure of Kong. The box feels nice. One thing I want to say right off the bat, I wish I had another example here, but my boxes are elsewhere and I'm kind of trapped in my camera setup right now, so I can't move. But the boxes are usually huge, 3 times this size. I got normal size hands, maybe big size hands, and this is about the same size as my hand, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that they're kind of cutting costs on that. So yeah, box is smaller. You got the Godzilla vs. Kong logo there. Kong from Godzilla vs. Kong 2021, in case you weren't sure. Here they have the that's usually Shin Godzilla. I think that's actually, let me get a look at this here. Yeah, I think that's the 1962 version of Godzilla, which is pretty cool. Bandai Tamashi Nations. So it says Tamashi Nations quality right there. So you definitely know that it is good. The Tamashi Nations logo. I actually got the collector's edition, so this box is like near mint. Well, I guess not anymore because I'm touching it. But the Bandai logo, the Toho logo, and the legendary logo. Hopefully the rights get to stay. Godzilla vs. Kong 2021, and some Japanese text, and you know. But I like these logos. I really appreciate that they put all of these on there. On this side over here, Kong from Godzilla vs. Kong 2021. Another Monsterverse logo and SH Monsterarts there. There, little preview window. Says the same thing. Yeah, there you go. What else? A promotional photo of Kong here. Still says Godzilla vs. Kong, Bandai Tamashi Nations. Or, I'm sorry, SH Monsterarts. Some text in Japanese there. On here, just some choking hazard stuff for ages 15 plus, and some stuff in Japanese, which looks beautiful, but cannot read. I can't tell if this is the front or the back. It has the preview window, which is really cool. Some really nice promotional pictures of Kong here. Some stuff in Japanese that I can't read, but it looks really cool. Really nice colors. I love the color design that they used in this one and the color scheme overall. A lot of text in Japanese, which again I think looks awesome. I'm definitely going to be displaying this box. And yeah, ages 15 up. Little warning label there. And a bunch more text in Japanese. So yeah, that's the box. Very, very nice quality. It's got a nice like matte finish to it. Big fan of how SH Monsterarts does their boxes. I have multiples of them and not enough room for them because they're usually huge. But this one is not huge, and I really appreciate that. So I'm going to put the box over here. And now we have the figure. So this is Kong. He's pretty ripped. They gave him an 8-pack or a 6-pack or whatever, but I don't know if he had that in the movie. I didn't pay close enough attention, but it's a cool little detail. So first, I kind of want to just go over this figure and kind of go over the paint application to it, the sculpt, and the articulation. Articulation is not going to be very precise on this. I know in my other videos, I kind of talk about like how many exact points of articulation they have, but there's a lot. You'll see in a second here how many he has, and how many I can't tell if it's a point of articulation or what, and you'll see what I mean in a minute here. But yeah, so there's Kong. But before we get to all that, I wanted to take a minute to go over all the accessories that he comes with. So I actually have his battle axe, which goes right here in his hand. I'll show that off in more detail. But if you look here, he's got a separate head. We'll talk about the paint application in a minute, but the head looks really, really good. Both my versions look really, really good. That's something I always check for to make sure there's no crazy, wacky, wonky eyes or anything. But you get fists. This one was actually on him, but I switched it out. This is him just, making a fist. This is Kong just making a fist. But I'm going to put that back in here. That's the other fist. This one is interesting. So this is Kong if you want him to be more in a gorilla type of pose. So kind of on all fours, on his feet and his knuckles. So you can do this as well, which you can see in the promotional images. I think it looks really, really good. You get one hand that he comes with where he is gripping. I just dropped them all. There we go. And then you get this hand that's kind of chilling. I might switch out to this one. I actually really like how it looks, but you'll see how I have my figure configured. But yeah, so there is his hand. Look at the detail. The fur rendering looks really, really good, and you'll see that on the figure too. And then the head. So this is his roaring battle face head. He's screaming. You can get him with the axe in this one. He's not just ready for battle, he's in battle at this point. And you can see the paint application on the eyes is really good. On the teeth, if you can see in there, look at how far in that goes. And you can see they painted all the teeth in there. So much detail in there. The tongue is rendered nicely. And then this is what the back of the head looks like. So it's not like a full round component. It's just kind of like this, and it clips on, and it works really, really well for his body. So yeah, that's his roaring head. Very, very impressive. Now, really quickly, I'm going to go over the sculpt first, but let's take a look at the battle axe here. Very, very detailed. I'm not super impressed with the paint application on this one. I'll kind of just get that out of the way on this. I think the texture of the wrap looks really, really nice, but I'm not particularly fond of the detail. I like the paint. I like the blue and silver. I think that looks really cool. The blue and silver definitely looks cool. I just don't think the way it's applied looks really, really impressive. There's the other side. But the thing I do really like about the battle axe, which I'm really happy they did, is some color variation in the end of the bone that it's on. I don't know whose bone this is that's bigger than the length of Kong's body, basically. But yeah, that looks really cool. So I like the color variation there. Here is the figure. So to start off with the sculpt, I don't think it's exact. I can't remember. In my reveal video on my main channel for this figure, they do talk about the sculptor and like his work with, I think, actual animal sculpting and stuff like that for other figures or just sculptures, but pretty detailed. I don't think this is the exact model of Kong from the film, but it's pretty accurate, and I think it looks really, really nice. In some ways, I like it even better. I think they did really good muscular detail on it. You can see where like this muscle group separates from this muscle group on his big old thighs there. The ankle situation is really, really nice. On the sculpt, I think they did the hands well. So I have the fist hand over here, and then I have the grip hand over here for the axe. And then this is the sculpt. This is the face. That looks really, really, really nice on my figure. The paint application is incredible on the eyes. You can see it's a very similar tone all the way through, but it's very just enough to sell how Kong looked in the film. His chest is a little more dark, like his skin is darker than his fur. So you can see on his face there's some darker color variations, and then on his fists and on his tootsies, they're darker too. So yeah, the face sculpt I'm super impressive with. I love the roaring Kong, but honestly, I like this face better. I like how he looks just kind of more menacing and imposing, just holding the axe when, he is holding the axe. Again, he's got that six-pack there. Flipping him over, you can see he's got some like rippling muscles in his back there, but it doesn't look it doesn't look exaggerated. Like, it doesn't look too human-like. They actually look like he's muscular and ripped, but the structure is similar to how an ape's body might look, obviously with some variations. Like I mentioned, boy's got a cake on him. Must be my birthday. The thigh sculpts are really good in the back too. The calf sculpts are good. I like how his legs look when he's just kind of like sitting like this, like in a relaxed position. They're not too stiff or anything. They got like a nice, like he's bearing weight because, I mean, look at him. He's a big old boy. I love how the shoulders look and how they did the arms. So like if you look here, there's some plates here. There's some extra plates, which we'll talk more about in the articulation section, but they really do a good job of not just doing the bare minimum of, okay, an arm has one piece for a bicep, one piece for a forearm. There's a whole separate piece for his elbow situation. Same with on his knees, a separate piece for his bicep and tricep situation. Shoulders are a separate piece. A lot of really good decisions they made in the sculpt. I'm very, very impressed with it. I love the variation in the hands. The feet look really good too. Like if you take a look at his tootsies here. I don't know what it says on the bottom there. I can't read it from here, but I'm assuming it's just kind of business stuff. Monkey business. It's got nice tootsies, good sculpt. Definitely looks like an ape's feet. And I don't know what else to say. He's got a little bit of a belly button there. I think the face is menacing and imposing, but also, you know, kind of kind and soft, like how Kong's can be. It emotes a lot. It expresses a lot of emotion just in kind of like little micro expressions and stuff. His brow's a little furrowed, and he just looks imposing. They also got his scars from the movie on there as well. So that is the sculpt. Very, very fantastic. Big fan. As far as articulation, his head is on a ball joint here. So it kind of goes up and down and it can go around. I don't want to mess with it too much because his head does tend to pop off a little bit. But then his chest piece is actually separate. If you can see that movement, this piece and this piece are not the same piece. His shoulder piece is separate. It's on a ball joint. Actually, the shoulder piece, I think, is just on a hinge. I actually don't want to push it. And then this piece right here is a separate floating piece. His elbow is a whole separate piece too, to add for that variation. This seems to be on a hinge as well. Not too many ball joints, but the wrist has a ball joint. Now keep in mind, this is a brand new figure. These things I'm talking about, they might be ball joints, but they're just a little bit stiff right now, so I can't quite tell. But yeah, you get the general gist of how it works. This whole plate right here is a separate plate. This is why I'm not counting articulation, because I don't know if this counts as articulation, but it is a moving piece that can kind of get loose and sag sometimes, but if you get it in the right position, it will stay. And it kind of just adds to the variation of what you can do with his back, because like I mentioned before, so if you really want to, with the right knuckle pieces and on and everything, and obviously if you do a much better job than this, whack job, but yeah, you can get him in this kind of configuration. You can arch his back a little bit more too, so it just seems a little bit more natural. But yeah, and then also, his neck piece is a whole separate piece too. So this is on a ball joint. This can kind of swish around. Okay, so his hips twist. They kind of can gyrate like this. This whole piece, this whole groin crotch monkey cake piece is like a big separate thing, like how his kind of trap muscles are. Not traps, his lats. I think that's lats. So this is kind of a separate floating piece, but it can rotate. His leg is on a ball joint here. Knee is a whole separate piece. So the knee is a whole separate piece. This thigh muscle piece is a whole separate piece. And then his ankle's got a lot going on here. If you look at it, the ankle's on a ball joint. Again, my figure's a little bit stiff. There's a separate floating piece here. Then I think this whole thing is on a separate ball joint from that first piece. And then his foot can do this on a little hinge. So a lot going on with articulation. It's kind of hard to count. All I know is that when they were designing this, they definitely had getting him in multiple different configurations, like standing up like an ape, kind of hunched down more like a gorilla. They definitely had all of that in mind, and I think it benefited greatly. Yeah, there's a lot of pieces here and a lot of visible seams. Obviously, no, it's SH Monsterarts, so there's not going to be any bolts showing or anything like that. But what they do have here looks really good. I can't imagine them having done a better job with nailing a sculpt that looks this enjoyable, this aesthetically pleasing, as movie accurate as they could make it, and with this many pieces while still, you know, looking good. It looks good up on a shelf. Obviously, you're seeing everything. It's got a bright, nice, soft light on it now, and you're seeing every little detail of it. So you can see those seams a little bit more, but I'm telling you right now, this on a shelf looks really, really good. And yeah, I'm very, very impressed with this. So we went over the sculpt, we went over the paint application, and we went over the articulation. What do I think about this figure? I think Kong is one of my favorite SH Monsterarts figures that I have owned. I have a bunch of different Godzillas. I have Shin. I have the 2019 Godzilla, the Polygon Trilogy Godzilla. I have the 1964 from Mothra vs. Godzilla. I have the NECA 1962 King Kong vs. Godzilla version. Overall, very, very happy with this. I don't have any sort of Kong figures, and oh, I take that back. I do have a Kong figure from Playmates Toys, but it's like a Walmart toy, so it's not the greatest quality, but I still enjoy it. But this is leaps and bounds more accurate, more detailed, great paint application, wonderful articulation. I don't usually rate things with numbers, but I would definitely say thumbs up if you are looking or you are in the market for a new figure, whether it's for collecting, selling purposes, or anything that you really want to do. Maybe you do figure photography, which I might start doing with these guys. But this is an absolutely fantastic figure that I highly recommend. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I think we basically covered everything. He's got tons of accessories. I'm very happy with him. All right, so that's it from me, guys. I hope you found this enjoyable, relaxing. If you fell asleep, good night. If you didn't, hit that like button, subscribe. I would like to build up a nice community here and do a bunch of nerdy stuff, and hopefully you found this relaxing. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Let's talk in the comments. Are you going to get this figure? Are you going to hold out on it? There's not too many Kong figures, so if you're into this kind of stuff and you want a Kong figure, I got this for $70, and I think the price has gone up. Once it releases, the price goes up. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.